Hello and welcome. I'm Johnny, I'm an engineer, and you want to build an app with Next.js. Next.js is the isomorphic web framework that just had another amazing conference. Live looks nuts. My mission is to bring more minds into software engineering, and it's never been a better time to start building things with React and Next.js. In this video, we'll be going through the setup needed to get to this demo site. We'll even deploy it live for your friends to see at the cost of free. So follow along. I'll be shooting videos every week, working towards this Figma design I've put together. But enough setting up this video, let's set up our app by running a script. To create our project, we'll go to the terminal and run npx create next app. We'll be using the TS flag for TypeScript because nowadays I prefer it over JavaScript. This can be a huge tangent. Let's just say TypeScript gives my IDE superpowers, especially when it comes to refactoring and auto-completing my way to victory. So it's well worth the increased verbosity, in my book. If you're getting a command not found error, it's likely you don't have a version of Node installed. Use Volta to get that sorted. So what npx does here is execute the create next app script, published in the npm repository. That script is the thing that will actually set up our project. Its dependencies, its version control, and some example code for reference. You may actually point the script to any of the tons of official examples and even third-party GitHub repos. Problem is, you can only point it to one. How do you mix and match? And hey, sometimes I don't particularly agree with the way they've set things up, or I don't understand it, and examining the reference, then trying to apply it myself, helps me tremendously. A lot of the purpose of these videos is to learn. If all you really want is to build an app that does one thing or just a landing page, then tools like Webflow or Card will get you further, faster. No need to learn React and Next.js and TypeScript just to do that. But starting to learn those things and understanding what we're doing here will open up more possibilities for what you can do with your app and with your career, the current landscape. Long story short, I do look at those create next app examples to learn and be inspired, but I never use them directly. When we set up Tailwind, we're gonna do it ourselves. Alright, so following the instructions, we move into the new directory created for us and we can spin up the server. We may visit where it's listening, http localhost 3000, to see that it's all there for us. Let's open our editor. On the browser, we're seeing what's called an index page. Next.js magic means that index page corresponds to the code existing in pages/index.tsx for TypeScript with TSX. So let's change something there to confirm. It works and updates the moment you save. Ain't that sweet? Let's now take a little detour and change a couple things that aren't create next app defaults, but are common in software engineering and TypeScript in particular. A couple habits I've picked up that make my life easier. Let's group our source code in a source directory. Projects have quite a lot of files, external dependencies, configuration, instructions, public assets to upload, so I find it super handy to put my own code, what I'll be changing most often when I add features, in a source directory. Similarly, because the pages component has special Next.js magic, I like to have a components directory to keep all my React components. We only have the one React component now, but as our UI becomes increasingly complex, this will help tremendously. So let's extract this home component. I prefer named exports as I find TypeScript autocompletes better with them, so let's change that too. We have to use a default export for the files in pages though, which we can do in a stylish way. Next.js magic means it's going to serve the default export of the file in the pages directory that corresponds to the current route. I do realize I'm saying Next.js magic a lot. It's intentional. We will be going deeper into demystifying all the magic as the series progresses, but there is a cap on how much we can absorb at a time. calling out the magic and repeat exposure to it will help us understand it when the time comes for a deeper dive. In any case, the initial change of grouping our source code in the source directory is one of the few times we'll need to manually restart the server for things to work again. Let's confirm they do. Sweet. As it happens, there is one more change that will need a server restart. Needing relative imports is something that will get annoying once we've got more nested components. So let's resolve that using the base URL compiler option in our TypeScript config. Let's set it to our new source directory. And now we can do this, and it will actually work after a server restart. Cool. I could go over tons of pet peeves, like fat arrow methods over function declarations, but let's do something more fun. Let's deploy this to the world. Create Next app has set up Git for us already for version control, so let's create a commit with all our changes, insert fun description here. Let's create a repository in GitHub to push all this code to. Copy these commands, paste and execute. Ta-da! Finally, let's deploy our app using Vercel. Vercel is the company behind Next.js, which is open source, so this is how they make their money. However, their free tier is extremely generous, so it's when large companies integrate with them where they actually make their money. So let's sync this up with our GitHub repo. Build takes a while, but not too long. Woohoo! We're live. We will be doing cool things with this Vercel integration in the future. In the near future, in the next video even, we'll start doing the coolest thing when building apps. We'll implement some proper UI. I mentioned I've got this design, and we'll start making it interactive for RLCs. And to accomplish that, we'll be setting up Tailwind CSS. This is gonna be a fun series. If you've enjoyed my style in this super configgy episode, then you're gonna love it when we do styling. Can just feel it. We're gonna be styling while styling. Oh yeah, consider subscribing. Then YouTube may consider alerting you when the next episode drops next week. And hey, I'll appreciate it. No matter what, thanks a bunch for watching. See you around.